State law is very clear, and these folks have to follow state law.
That's Chris Reichdahl, the state superintendent of public instruction, reacting to the Meade School District's request for federal intervention over the state's policies on transgender students.
The people of Spokane just love it.
From the floats to the performers, final preparations are underway for this weekend's St. Patrick's Day Parade.
As wind dies down, we have a little sun tomorrow and a chance of snow as we head into the weekend. Good evening and thank you for joining us for the KREM 2 Night Report. I'm Mark Hanrahan. We begin tonight tracking early spring snow conditions in the mountain. Take a look at this. The National Weather Service sharing just how fast snow accumulated over Lookout Pass today. According to the Weather Service, it only took 13 minutes to cover the entire freeway. Even in March, the Weather Service saying, be prepared for rapidly changing conditions in the mountains. And there's plenty of snow set to fall in the mountains this weekend. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo for more on what we can expect. Jeremy? Oh, dude, it is just dumping in the mountains the next couple of days. It is going to be absolutely fantastic out there. 36 degrees is where we sit, and those temperatures are going to stay pretty close to that overnight. I don't think we get too, well, we are going to drop down near freezing, but not too much colder than where we already are. Wind continues to die down this evening after a blustery Thursday, and there's those breaks in the clouds. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick already out there with his camera and saying, hey, moon viewing is good. Lunar eclipse takes place from 11:30 to 12:30 a.m. and things are already happening. So get outside and take a look, watch the progress. It's fun to see. Tomorrow, nothing but sunshine and a few clouds, but not near the cloud cover we saw today. Not really near the wind either. Then as we move from Friday into Saturday, good model indication that we wake up to a round of snow, and that snow Saturday morning might just amount to like a ½ an inch here in Spokane. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and 45. Saturday, 46. So anything that falls is gone by the end of the day. Sunday, it looks like it's rain.
Sounds good, Jeremy. We'll check back in with you later in the show. In other news this evening, the 45th annual St. Patrick's Day Parade set to kick off this Saturday. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy spoke with the Grand Marshal ahead of the event to find out what they've been doing to get ready.
It's a night of traditional Irish dancing at Sean O'Donnell's American Grill and Irish Pub on Thursday. It's a skill dancers Juniper, Harper, and Maddie say takes time to get exactly right.
It's fun, but it can also get frustrating sometimes.
But they say that frustration is worth it once they and other members of the Heron School of Irish Dance perform their routine in front of tens of thousands at the 45th annual St. Patrick's Day Parade.
The people of Spokane just love it.
That's Keats McLaughlin. He's the Grand Marshal for the parade this year and was part of the nonprofit, the Friendly Sons of St. Patrick. The group is in charge of organizing the parade. They then count up all proceeds to go to other nonprofits in the Spokane area. He says this week he and other organizers set up the lineup of the floats and went over safety precautions for each float in the 2-hour event. He says the tradition of floats, music, and dancing is set to start Saturday, rain or shine. He says he's a little worried about the weather, but says the luck of the Irish always comes through come time for it to start.
Usually we get bad weather just before the parade, then it clears off and it's real nice and we get the parade over and then it starts to rain again.
A hopefully sunny day on Saturday for McLaughlin, attendees, and performers on each float.
I feel excited.
It feels amazing for me.
The parade is set to start downtown from 12 to 2 p.m. Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
And now to our night beat with a quick look at the day's top stories. Washington is joining nearly 24 other states in suing the Trump administration over threats to lay off half of the Department of Education workforce. It comes 2 days after the federal agency fired more than 1,300 workers. The lawsuit claims the layoffs are unconstitutional and asks the court to stop the president's attempts to shutter the department. Concerns are already mounting, though, that the administration has pushed aside some of the agency's most fundamental work. This includes enforcing civil rights for students with disabilities and managing $1.6 trillion in federal student loans.
I think there's always room for improvement, but I don't think that's what this is about. If it were about that, we wouldn't be destroying the system and then seeing where the dust settles. You know, you would be working.
Lawmakers say getting rid of the department is only possible through an act of Congress. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is cutting 2 federal programs that provided about $1 billion to schools and food banks to buy local food. The decision comes from Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency. And before the funding cut, the state would pay for half of the cost and the district would pay for the other half. But now school districts will have to foot the entire bill if they want to serve local food to local students.
But maybe what is even more disappointing to me is I've heard this administration verbalize their support of American agriculture, and that doesn't seem to be in line with this move that they took to take away the funding for this program. It makes a lot more sense for blueberries grown in Washington to end up on students' trays in Washington than blueberries grown in Maine to end up on Washington trays.
We did reach out to Spokane Public Schools to see how this could impact them, and we were told it will mean a difference of about $10,000, and they are now making changes to offset the increase. The Central Valley District tells KREM 2 the change will limit choices for students and limit their ability to buy local food. Idaho Governor Brad Little signed a bill today increasing food tax credits for Idahoans. Starting this tax season, the tax credit increases from $120 to $155 per person. It also allows for a refund of all taxes paid on groceries up to $250 per person if they itemize their grocery expenses on their tax returns. The tax credit is in effect right now. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just head to our website. That's KREM.com. In other news tonight, the Seahawks today introduced the team's new quarterback in a press conference this afternoon. Sam Darnold walked into a packed auditorium at the Seahawks headquarters today. Darnold talked about how thrilled he is to play for the 12s at Lumen Field.
No, it's just an unbelievable place, and from what I've heard from so many people and guys that I've played with in the past in college, Uchenna Nwosu, and then Leonard Williams as well, they speak so highly of this organization, and I'm just so excited, so thrilled to just be able to get the opportunity to play football here and attack every single day with my teammates.
The former number 3 overall draft pick threw 35 touchdowns for the Minnesota Vikings this past season, leading the team to a 14-3 record in the regular season and a playoff appearance. Meantime, former WSU quarterback Gardner Minshew got a new home in the AFC West today. According to NFL insider Ian Rappaport, Gardner will spend the 2025 season backing up Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Minshew won the starting job for the Raiders this past season, but was benched multiple times before a season-ending collarbone injury. He signed a one-year deal with the Chiefs. With only 45 days left in the legislative session, only a few bills made it past a critical deadline. Ahead, a closer look at the other bills that will have to wait until the next session. Also, Washington State firing back where the state stands as the Meade School District says it doesn't know whether to follow federal orders or state law for transgender students.